This is Renelle, and welcome to Quality Hang with Rod Brooks and friends. And here he is now, your host, my main man, Rod Brooks.
Thank you very much, Renelle. I am Rod Brooks, and welcome to Quality Hang. We are glad to be back.
Woo-woo.
As always, I am joined on this broadcasting adventure by my partner in crime, my friend and yours. He is the co-host of Quality Hang, my homie, Marcus Osborne. What up, dog?
What's good, man? It's good to see you.
It has been a while.
Instead of just seeing you all over my TV screen, I get to see you on the laptop screen.
Yeah, we've been busy over these last couple of weeks. So first and foremost, just want to thank folks for being patient with our very infrequent broadcast and our sort of all over the place schedule. Just been really busy, thankfully busy with Niners pre and post and Warriors pre and post on NBC Sports Bay Area over the last couple of weeks, and that's going to continue. So our broadcast schedule, which when we first started this a few months ago, was very static. Actually, it was Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We went live at 8:00. No ifs, ands, or buts. But over the last couple of weeks, but particularly I, have been busy and not been able to adhere to that schedule that we put forth. So I know that you guys, and I'm thankful for this, have been reliant on us being accessible every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, or at least every Monday and Thursday, as we've done over the last couple of weeks. But I haven't been able to hold up my end of the bargain, and for that, I sincerely apologize. But I feel like I have a good enough reason. I have a good enough excuse. But I promise you.
I feel like, yeah.
Yeah, thank you. But I promise you, once we get past this busy stretch, we'll get back to doing what we do on the regular. In the meantime, thank you so much for joining us as always. And we're going to do what we always do, which is talk some sports, talk a little stuff, and have some fun. And a quick programming note, we're going to go live again on Thursday, as we normally do. So this is a somewhat normal week. And then we'll go live again next Tuesday. Won't be able to go live on Monday because the Niners will be playing the Panthers on Monday Night Football, and I'll be doing Niners pre and post on NBC Sports Bay Area and NBC Sports Bay Area Plus. So we will go live next Tuesday. So mark that on your calendars or tell a friend, or why not do both? Now that we have that out of the way, let's get into today's show. But you know how we started? We started by thanking our presenting sponsor, the fine folks at Hop Monk Taverns. 3 locations to choose from: Sonoma, Sebastopol, and in Novato. And at all 3 locations, they all do the same great things. Satisfy your hunger with fantastic food from a diverse menu. Satisfy your thirst with a craft beer selection that is absolutely out of this world. And whatever you are into live entertainment wise, promise you could find it at one of the 3 Hop Monk locations. Not only do they get musical touring acts from around the country, but what I love about Hop Monk is that it's a great place for local artists to see and be seen. And it's also a place to just get together and have a good time. Whether it is comedy open mic night, whether it's country line dancing night. I have to say, I saw a band that I will assume is a Fleetwood Mac tribute band, a cover band possibly. And the name of this band, absolutely brilliant. Played 2 nights at Hop Monk in Sebastopol. Fleetwood Macrame. Whoever you are, whoever came up with that is some top-notch stuff right there. So check out Hop Monk online at hopmonk.com to see what they have coming up live entertainment-wise at all 3 venues, and definitely check them out in Novato, Sonoma, and in Sebastopol. All right, let us get into it. Let's get involved. Let's start with the San Francisco 49ers, who, on the strength of their demolition of the Arizona Cardinals yesterday, the Niners now have an 86% chance of making the playoffs, 79% chance as a wild card team, although the division is still in play, even though the Rams look like they are the team to beat and have the inside track on the NFC West, but nothing is set in stone as far as that is concerned. But now that the Niners are fully healthy offensively, to steal a line from Star Wars, that battle station is fully operational. Brock Purdy looked like Brock Purdy yesterday. George Kittle doing George Kittle things. Christian McCaffrey is an all-pro running back who is also an all-pro slot receiver. That Niners offense did work yesterday, and that's going to have to be how it is for the rest of the season for the Niners, where they are led by that offense, and that offense has to put up, they were averaging 22 points a game before yesterday. I'm sure that's ticked up not a couple of points, but I'm sure that's ticked up a little bit. But the Niners are going to have to average at least, in my estimation, 25 to 28 points a game, because if they weren't playing the Arizona Cardinals, the Niners have defensively, that game would have been a much, much bigger problem, because good for the Niners that they got turnovers, and that's something that they're going to have to do because they don't have a pass rush. The run defense is definitely going to get tested next week against the Panthers. We'll talk about them in just a second. But the run defense has got to be better, and the coverage on the back end is interpretive at times at best. However, they have an almost 90% chance of making the playoffs, and that offense is the real deal. So it ain't the worst situation to be in if you're a Niner fan.
I mean, yeah, you could have worse problems. You could be one of the teams playing on Monday Night Football. With last check, 0.3% chance of making the postseason.
The Cowboys are beating the crap out of the Raiders 33-16. So the Raiders going to drop to 2-8. The Cowboys will have a very hilarious record of 4-5-1. But yes, Marcus, your overarching point is right. The Niners are in a much better position than either one of those two slap what franchises.
Yes, indeed. I fall back on my belief that the Raiders are not trying to win, and I think they're trying to tank for a great pick in the draft. Firmly into that at this point.
I don't know if I've always been one to say that I know teams don't tank in the NFL, because if you tank, you might not be around that next year for that draft pick. So the players are not going to be involved in the tankathon, and the coaches more than likely not going to be involved in the tankathon. And while we have seen over and over again in sports that you can have individuals or groups of individuals do things for malevolent benefit, a lot of times in sports, like a lot of times in life, particularly in politics, that these people are just genuinely bad at their jobs and stupid. And I think in terms of the Raiders, and we've seen this now for the past 30 years, collectively, no matter who they get in there, they're not good at the job of winning football games.
Yeah, I do concur. But I also think that there's another case where two things can be true at the same time. They did not seek out a quarterback. They have not attempted to find a quarterback. They've traded away Jacoby Myers. They are not interested in winning.
Well, they could have had Shedeur Sanders. Maybe
they could have. And you know what? He's probably better than Geno Smith.
I saw something. I forget what the stat was. I think it might have been touchdown to interception ratio. But I saw a stat for Geno Smith, and he was 33rd in the league in whatever the stat was. And I think it was the touchdown to interception ratio. He's 33rd in the league.
Oh, yeah, man.
For those who don't know, there's only 32 teams in the NFL. Now, yes, you have more than 32 starting quarterbacks. Obviously the Niners have had 2 starting quarterbacks this year. But I think my point remains, man, when they gave you money as a free agent and you came off a fairly decent time in Seattle and you are now 33rd in touchdown to interception ratio, that's not good. That's not good at all.
He's playing like original Geno. That's what I'm seeing.
Fresh out the box Geno.
That's right. Getting beat up for his bad bets.
So the story of the Niners season, of course, is while they have an offense that a lot of teams would kill for, and while they are horrible defensively, mainly due to injury is the big reason why the Niners are in the position that they're currently in. It's not terrible, but it's not optimal, and the injury bug continues to absolutely devastate the Niners. Tatum Bethune, who suffered a high ankle sprain yesterday, he's going to be out for a few weeks. They're not going to put him, Tatum Bethune, on IR, but he will be out for a few weeks. So Curtis Robinson is now the next man who is the next man up. If you are unfamiliar with the Niners get down, Tatum Bethune came in for Fred Warner, who suffered a devastating lower leg injury a few weeks ago. And a guy along with, I'm not saying anything that is wild and crazy, but two guys have saved the Niners season to get them to the point where they are right now, where Brock Purdy can come in with George Kittle and Christian McCaffrey and the rest of that offense and be the tip of the spear. Mac Jones and Eddie Pinheiro have gotten the Niners in the position of where they are right now. There's at least 4 games I can think of that they were both particularly responsible for the Niners winning. Eddie Pinheiro suffered a grade 1 hamstring strain yesterday. The good news is it's a grade 1 hamstring strain. The higher you go, the tougher the strain, the more severe, I should say, the strain. Bad news is he's going to be out a few weeks. So now the Niners, who I would say got lucky to get Eddie Pinheiro to take over for Jake Moody when that situation became very untenable at the beginning of the season. The Niners are now going to have to go back to the well in terms of finding a kicker on the street, and they will start to have tryouts on Tuesday and hopefully have that buttoned up by Wednesday or Thursday. But again, the story of the season for the Niners, clearly, it's been injury and last week, and what they're dealing with from here on out is no different with Tatum Bethune and Eddie Pinheiro both being out for at least a few weeks between the two.
Boy, that injury bug is just not going away.
No.
Got a hold on these boys.
Nope. I was being a wise guy. We do a YouTube show called 49ers Now on Mondays and Fridays at 2:00 if you're interested. If you need more 49er information in your life. And my working theory for the Niners and injuries is, remember when Christian McCaffrey, at the beginning of the season, first game of the season, he was put on the injured he had an injury designation, not put on the injury list. He had a very good camp. He had an injury-free camp, but he was he had an injury designation leading up to the first game of the season against the Seahawks. I think it had something to do with his calf. It was eventually much ado about nothing. He said he felt something. He informed the Niners of it. They decided, because of his and their overall injury history, they decided to play it safe, shut him down for a practice or two. You do that, you got to put him on the injury list because of gambling, which we'll talk about here in just a second. Well, again, Christian McCaffrey, there was much ado about nothing. He's been the Niners' best player, and he's been the Niners' healthiest best player. Well, for Christian McCaffrey to be the healthiest Niner player, apparently many other Niner players had to be sacrificed. They had to be injured. So that means Bosa had to be injured. That means Fred Warner had to be injured. That means a couple of other guys had to suffer some injuries. If you're going to keep Christian McCaffrey healthy, I guess you got to sacrifice some guys to the injury gods. That's my working theory. Maybe it doesn't hold any water. I don't know if anybody's got a better idea.
It sounds very, very strong to me. I think why not go with that?
I'm going with the dark arts. I'm going with black magic. I don't know what else to say.
Why not? Why the hell not? At this point, anything is believable when it comes to the injuries in the squad.
I'm going with ritualistic curses. I don't know, man. The Niners are a 7-point favorite over the Carolina Panthers next Monday. Panthers, by the way, they have won 5 of their last 7. Bryce Young had 3 touchdowns, threw for, I think, almost 400 yards.
Crazy.
Yesterday. Rico Dowdle is third in the NFL in rushing yardage with 800 and change. I forget the exact number. McMillan is a very good wide receiving threat. Xavier Legette is a very good wide receiving threat. This Panthers team, while they don't get a lot of attention, and rightfully so, you win 5 out of your last 7. You have some young talented players who can, if left unchecked, can put up some numbers. This is a Panthers team that is worthy of your attention. Flip
Sure.
side is they're almost as bad as the Niners are defensively. It's not a good Carolina team defensively. So with the Niners again being an offensive heavy team, this is going to be another situation where they will have the advantage, and I think also have the burden, if you will, of having to put up enough points because this Niner defense is still trying to figure some things out.
Yeah, man. I mean, at this point, it's just a matter of getting through the season, right? It's
Yeah,
just
I
a
mean
matter of
it's
just get through the regular season. We'll figure
it's
everything else out.
yeah, but these next 4 games. So starting with Carolina, I mean, really, it started yesterday with Arizona. That's why I
Mhm.
mentioned that now beating Arizona. It was important because now they have at least almost a 90% chance, 86 to be exact, of making the playoffs. So doubling up and getting this Carolina win, because I think going to Cleveland, even though the Browns are the Browns, even though it is an absolute nightmare, whatever the hell they're doing offensively and whatever the hell they're doing with Shador Sanders,
Ooh,
that
goodness.
Browns defense, exactly. You know exactly what I'm talking about. That Browns
Mhm.
defense is absolutely no joke. And it is a Browns defense that is capable of holding, I think, this Niners offense to under 20 points, which would not be a good situation for the Niners. So to me, for the Niners, getting this game against the Panthers, which is going to be no pushover, but they're capable, obviously, of winning it. Getting the game against the Panthers, doing whatever has to be done against the Browns, and then following up after the bye, getting the game against the Tennessee Titans. These next 3-4 weeks, these next 4 games are extraordinarily important. The Niners take care of that. You're sitting at 10 wins. 10
Exactly.
wins, you're almost guaranteed a playoff spot. Now
Yeah,
you're
you got
talking in the last 3 games. You got the Colts, good team, very good team, offensively and defensively. The Bears, surprisingly, a good team, also
Mm,
defensively. And then you finish the season with Seattle. That may or may not mean anything. That game will
mm.
be at Levi's. You get one out of those 3, that's 11 wins on the season. It would be a real strange situation if 11 wins did not get you into the playoffs.
Very strange. I don't see the 49ers having a huge. Maybe I'm just too optimistic. I just don't see them having a big problem with most of those teams. Like I just don't see it. I don't see it happening.
Listen,
The Cleveland can hold you to under 20, but the problem is they won't be able to score 7.
sure.
So it'll
What,
be all right there.
which is true. Which is true.
Unless
Which is
Shador
true.
goes off and goes crazy. And then I think Seattle is the real major concern.
I think you're very much underselling the Colts and the Bears.
You know what? I probably am. I have not been a believer in the Colts all year.
I've skepticism I can understand, but that's why I mentioned they're good offensively. That's a really good Colts defense. Really,
Yeah,
I'm not saying that they're
Daniel Jones
championship
is starting
worthy.
there.
Say it again.
Daniel Jones is starting there, right? Is he
Yeah.
still
Oh
starting?
yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. But all he
Y'all
has
got
to
this,
do,
dude.
all he has to do is not turn it over. Let Jonathan Taylor do his work and let that defense do work. I'm just telling you. I've watched enough football this year, and I was skeptical of what the Colts were doing, and I was skeptical for a while. But you look at what they've done defensively. That's a good outfit. Now, how do they deal with pressure? How do they deal with expectation? I don't know. But I know that this is not a Colts team to where you just go, oh man, that's the Colts. Nah, I ain't worried about them. That's a good
Yeah,
outfit. And I put the Bears in there too. Colts more so, but I put the Bears in there too.
yeah, God. I mean, another team I just did. I watched them and I'm going, I mean, yeah, you got lucky a lot. I feel like this happens there's always some team every year that has a bunch of these close victories, end of regulation wins, something nutty happens for them to win a game, and then once they start playing real teams, exposure.
Yeah. Well, this is once you get to this point.
I could be simple.
I understand your skepticism, but once you get to this point, you get to Thanksgiving and past Thanksgiving. This is when what you've done before. If it's real, we're about to find out. If it's real fake, if it's fugazi, we're gonna find out. I just think with what the Colts and the Bears, to just talk about these two teams in particular, because listen, the Niners are, again, they're better than the Panthers. Although you have to take the Panthers seriously because of
Yeah,
what they have
that's it.
offensively, juxtaposing that with what the Niners do or do not do defensively. The Browns, I think it's a different situation because of what they do defensively, and also the Niners coming off a short week and traveling and having an early start time, 10 o'clock kickoff. All of those things I think can be factors if you allowed them to be. And clearly they're better than the Tennessee Titans. So 3-1 is baseline minimum for the Niners.
Yep.
4-0 is entirely possible. But those
Mhm.
next three after that, those are three teams. If you're just looking at them in total, offense and defense, and put special teams aside for a second. Offense, defense, what they've done all season long, the Colts, the Bears, and the Seahawks in particular are three legitimate outfits if you're using that criteria.
Yeah, and you knowing the 49 team, they won't take anybody for short. Like they're gonna take each one of these games. They're not good enough to overlook anybody. So I think that they might lose two of these last few games. Two.
They know what's possible. They know what's
Yeah.
possible for sure. I mean, I see them winning 5 of these next few because I am a big believer in what they have offensively. I think what they pulled off yesterday was way more than they played the Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah.
It's just the way that they moved the ball, and particularly with Purdy coming back and the Niners threatening more down the field from the numbers to the boundary. This is taking nothing away
Mhm.
from what Mac Jones did, but you saw Brock Purdy do that. You know, the Niners in their last
Plus
6
has that
games.
mobility too, man.
Yeah.
It definitely changes the complexion of that offense.
Yeah. Well, just what he can do in
Mhm.
that offense as well. In the last 6 games, the Niners were 3 for 16 on passes of 20 plus yards.
Oof.
Yesterday, Brock Purdy alone on passes of 15 or more yards was 3 or 4 for 70 yards and a touchdown. He only had 15 completions, if I'm remembering correctly. Now, again, they're playing the Arizona Cardinals, but I think having that be a part of the offense, along with the brilliance of Christian McCaffrey, along with the brilliance of George Kittle, and also what you're going to get with Ricky Pearsall once he continues to work himself into form. He only got 1 catch yesterday, went for 0 yards. So he is still trying to get himself back in form. He's been out for a while. Within what you will have with Ricky Pearsall, I just think that this is easily going to be one of the top offenses in the game. It already was, if you're just looking at it from from a statistical, he tried to say, standpoint. The Niners were leading the league in passing, and that was without Brock Purdy for the majority of the year. That was without Ricky Pearsall for the majority of the year. That was without George Kittle for, I forget however many games it was. I think 4 or 5 with his hamstring injury. The Niners were leading the league in passing with Christian McCaffrey as their leading receiver and their leading rusher. That's how good they are.
Wasn't Mac Jones putting up like 50 passes?
Oh, yeah. No, the game against the Rams, the first game against the Rams, the overtime game, he threw the ball 49 times. Yeah.
Crazy. I mean, that's
so
supreme confidence in your QB.
Yeah. And again, that was without Kittle. That was without Pearsall. That's how good this Niner team is, and they're better offensively. So it's going to be a fun few weeks with the Niners, and all they have to do really is just not have any more injuries.
That's it. That's all.
Knock on wood. That's all. Yeah. Just don't get injured. Don't get hurt playing football.
That's it.
Try that on for size. Don't get hurt playing football. Let's move on to the Warriors. Currently in the midst of a 6-game road trip where they are now 3-1. They started in OKC and got beat by the Thunder. Then again, who doesn't get beat by the Thunder these days?
Everybody has.
Everybody gets beat by the Thunder. Back-to-back games in San Antonio, and right now those 2 games are important. I think, Marcus, as this season goes on, and if the Warriors continue on an upward track, we're going to look back at that loss in OKC and those 2 games in San Antonio as not a turning point in the season, but a defining point in this season where hard conversations had to be engaged in, tough decisions rotation wise or starting lineup wise, however you want to
Yep.
put it, had to be
Yep.
made. And the veterans understanding, and I think they knew this, but it became more acute in that loss to OKC and then the 2 wins against the Spurs, that the old heads understanding that when they have to carry the load, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. They got to carry that load, as difficult as it may be. And if you have Steph Curry, who's the guy who is your best player, and he understands the importance of carrying that load, if he's the guy that's showing you the way, I think you're going to be doing pretty good with that burden that you have.
Yeah, it is interesting that the change that start. But didn't we kind of expect to start seeing some of these changes, particularly with the rookie Richard? The dude he's such a good, sharp little rookie. And obviously this is year one. He's going to get better. But, I mean, he does everything the right way. Unselfish, passive. I mean, he's a stat sheet filler. And you want that when you play for this team and you've got Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler on the same squad. And he's doing it without bitching and moaning.
Yeah. In sports, particularly basketball, you have to, when you demonstrate to your coaches that they can't take you off the floor,
talk about it.
It changes everything. When you give them, whether you think it's fair or not, when you give them as a young player, particularly, if not exclusively, when you give your coaches a chance to look at a part of your game and if it's a nitpick or if it's obvious, for them to say, nah, we can't keep you on the floor because of X, Y, and Z, then they're going to take you out. But if you make yourself indispensable, if by virtue of your play, you make the coach have to play you, have to give you more minutes, have to give you more run with the first team, to use that sort of catch-all term, when your play dictates that, you're cooking with gas. And that's where Will Richard is at the beginning of his career with the Warriors. And that's where Moses Moody is right now. Because Moses Moody, who we all love, but Moses Moody had some shortcomings in his game, had some holes in his game to where it made it hard for Steve Kerr to keep him on the floor in certain situations with certain players. Now you come back, Moses Moody clearly has worked on his shot. Clearly he has worked on some things defensively. I think his ball handling has gotten better. So now it is impossible for Steve Kerr to look at Moses Moody and go, I got to take this guy off the floor because he's not helping us or because he's not hurting our team. And you know what? And I'm going to have this conversation about the Warriors, and I'm not even going to mention a certain player because I don't even really think it's about him, quite frankly. I think it's about what you're getting from those two guys in particular and why they're playing more, because it's hard for Steve Kerr to take them off the floor.
It is, dude. It absolutely is. And we saw this development with Moses Moody last year until he hurt his hand and his shot fell off. And then he ended up having to have the operation during the offseason, but he got it right back, picked up right where he ended last year. And Will Richard is just kind of a revelation. And every time you see him play, he gets better and better with every game. Defensively, I knew he was a pretty good player just from watching him in the tournament. But defensively, nice. Very nice. Good instincts, good hands. I'm really impressed with this kid. It's going to be interesting to see how the rotation shakes out the rest of the year because, you know, Steve Kerr is always tinkering with the rotation. So we'll see. But he does try to get everybody in the game. So it'll be interesting to see how they do the rest of the way.
So the Warrior – go ahead, please.
No, stay healthy. That's it. Stay healthy.
We're talking about the Warriors or the Niners? No, I'm just kidding.
The Warriors.
No, I'm kidding.
They kind of have the same problem, though.
It's 100%. Very, very top heavy. All right. You definitely don't want to lose. Definitely don't want to lose certain guys. The Warriors beat New Orleans And just like who doesn't get beat by OKC, who doesn't beat New Orleans nowadays, but
It hurts me
a
so
win
much.
in the
Oh,
NBA is a win. Warriors now finish up this road trip where when they finish in Miami, back to back, Orlando tomorrow, and then or Orlando, Miami. Is it back to back? Yeah, I believe it is back to back.
yes, I'm back to back.
And that will be the 17th game when they finish in Miami. That will be the
Great.
17th game in 29 days in
Crazy.
13 different cities. That seems like a lot. Seems like a lot.
Yeah, I would. My mother's been complaining about that. Why have you playing so many? You know what? This is what happens when you're a marquee team at the start of a brand new television contract. They want you on TV as much as they can get you on TV. So you're gonna end up with a bunch of back-to-backs. That's just the way it is. Don't like it, but that is the way it is.
It bees like that sometime.
I wanted to mention this since we're talking about hoop.
Yes.
Because we were talking about the NBA's new media deal, and apparently these guys knew what they were doing. Ratings for their national games are up 92% year over year.
That's a lot.
And the reason is because of the way the NBA basketball is consumed. Primarily, it's got a younger demo.
Mm-hmm.
And they talked about, well, the league has finally done what they should have done, which is go where their fans are, which is on the streamers. Streamers are where the young people are. It's also helped the NFL get younger. Did not know that. But the NFL on Prime is up 7% year over year, and 22% since 2022. Younger audiences. So it's actually pretty smart to take your leagues to streaming because that's where the young people are. And if you're the NBA, your fans skew very young. Go where they are.
Yeah. I think what it also proves, and clearly it's about getting a younger demographic because of advertising. If you're selling widgets, do you want to sell widgets and get them in essence hooked on your widgets? You know what? Let me use a contemporary example. Let's just say you're selling a weight loss drug.
I like widgets. I got it.
Yeah, but weight loss drugs are in vogue. You're selling a weight loss drug, right? And you want do you want to sell the weight loss drug to somebody who's in their 60s, or do you want to sell that weight loss drug to somebody who's in their late 20s, early 30s, and who may use that weight loss drug for, I don't know, the next 30 to 45 years? So clearly that has a lot to do with it. But I think what it also proves, and baseball is going to try and test these waters a little bit, and we'll see if this works, is that with the NFL particularly and the NBA, is that the demand for the product is so strong that we will go wherever we need to go to get that product.
Oh, for sure.
I think about over the last couple of weeks, I subscribed to YouTube TV, and they were, in a pissing contest. YouTube TV, Google was in a pissing contest with the mouse with Disney, and didn't have ABC and ESPN on YouTube TV. Now, why was that an issue for me? Because I'm a college football fan, particularly I'm an SEC fan. You can only find SEC football on ESPN and ABC. So for 2 weeks, what did I do? I had to. My workaround was Sling has this thing called the Day Pass. And I think it was $5. Yeah, it's $5 a day. You sign up for Sling, and I could watch ABC and ESPN. I did it for the Monday night game a couple of weeks ago. Did do it for a Monday night game last week. It was a particularly bad game. I didn't want to watch. But my point is that I wanted the product because I'm a junkie. I'm a football junkie, particularly a college football junkie. I wanted the product so bad that I would do anything to get it. I think it's the exact same thing with the NBA and the NFL in terms of them going to streaming and people being okay with it, and particularly younger people being okay with it. That's where the younger people are, and the older people, like myself, are saying, well, if that's where I got to go to get what I want, I'll go there, even if I hate it every step of the way. Because I hate it every step of the way.
I cut the cord to cable, and the young people beat me to the punch. But they were so right. Cutting the cord to cable, and I just go right to the streaming apps.
Yeah.
Absolutely, YouTube TV and the apps. That's all I need.
I want cable back. I miss DirecTV. I'm fine with YouTube TV. It gives me what I want. Okay.
Mhm.
But man,
What do you miss about it?
having everything you wanted right where you could find it.
Mm-hmm.
Having to go from streaming service to streaming service. Maybe I'm just romanticizing it, but flipping channels. You remember flipping channels? You remember being able to go from one game
Yeah.
to another. This is a football viewing specific thing, but being able to go from one game to, if I got to get a Big Ten game off of Peacock and I got to get an SEC game off of ESPN, and I ain't got time for that. I don't. But here's the thing.
But you have the multi-view with YouTube TV.
Yeah, but right, which is why I stay with YouTube TV, so I can watch an SEC game in one corner, I can watch a Big Ten game in one corner, I can watch an ACC game in another corner, I can possibly have an LSU game, right? But I can't do that with all of the streaming services.
Yeah.
I don't think we really understand how much we enjoyed, even though we were getting just absolutely robbed by the cable companies, kind of like we're getting robbed by the streamers now. But having everything in one place where you could find it and it was all there easily laid out for you in a grid fashion. Again, maybe this is just my hang up, but there's something about that is very comforting. And I think missing it now really stinks.
Yeah, that sounds like my mom. My mom would not go to YouTube TV. She's like, nope, I'm keeping my Comcast. I said, Mom, but nope, I'm keeping my Comcast. But it's cheaper. Nope, I'm keeping my Comcast. Well, you go ahead and keep your Comcast.
Now, you know what? YouTube TV is damn near $90 now.
This is people getting what they asked for. Because remember, for years they're like, I don't watch all these channels. I just want to watch what I want to watch. Why can't I get it out of the cart? Well, you got it.
You're right.
And now you're paying for it.
Yeah,
you're right. And now you're paying for it.
Yeah, but no, I'm a little bit surprised that the ratings are as high as they are this early in the season for the NBA. But I'm not that particularly surprised that the basketball loving populace, the NBA loving populace, has adapted to the game, because it's not like it used to be back in the day where you could find NBA games on TNT on Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. Now you go from your local joint like NBC Sports Bay Area to Amazon, I think, on Thursdays, Peacock and NBC tomorrow, ESPN, I guess, on Wednesdays, and then on the weekends. Like, it's you got to be on your shit to know where the games are. But like I said earlier, the NBA is important enough to enough people to where we will continue to jump through these hoops to find what we want, because we want the game that badly. We want to see Steph that badly. We want to see Wemby that badly. We want to see what OKC is doing that badly.
Yeah, amen. And I think the more I read about this thing, I think it ends up being the smart thing for them, because it's a global game, and apparently overseas nobody uses cable. Everybody uses
Everybody's
apps.
streaming.
Nobody's on cable. Like, okay, I get it now. Like, I get it. I understand the plan. I get
it. See, Aaron Kask, he's nostalgic just like me. He says, sadly, with YouTube TV, you don't get wonderful memories of your parents having the illegal box that unscrambles the cables and gives you access to the dirty channels. You don't. And listen, of course, you can get nudity anytime you want to with this, right?
Yeah.
But there's something, there's some old school about, the dirty channels. There's something old school about that. We're missing that tactile feeling.
I remember being a little kid, probably like 14, and the scramble was on. I would sit there and watch that dirty movie, Scramble, with what I could see. Can I get anything? Can I
Can you get
recognize
anything? Can you get anything?
just staring at the scrambled screen for hours?
Yes, the power of imagination, and yes, the power of youth. You kind of staying with the NBA, but going into a different territory. The NBA and gambling. It's been a big story over the last few weeks. They're in it deep with Chauncey Billups and Damon Jones getting indicted for being involved in illegal gambling and the mob and poker games, illegal poker games, and all that kind of stuff. I'll say it again. I've said it many times that I think we all in America kind of all have the same idea that wow, the mob is still in existence. And the mob is still actually out there, doing mob type shit. Like I thought the mob was gone. Come to find out, nope, mob is still there and still mobbing away.
Yeah.
And the NBA is now has asked multiple teams, including the Lakers, to hand over documents and phone records that pertain to its investigation, the league's investigation of illegal sports gambling. Couple of MLB pitchers have been accused of manipulating pitches to win prop bets, and now the Major League Baseball, I should say, wants to limit pitching specific prop bets to $200 or less, and the NFL wants to do away with prop bets altogether.
Wow.
I'm not a gambling guy. Never have been, never will be. It ain't my type of hype. But I'm not anti-gambling. Okay, just because I don't do it, don't mean that I don't think gambling should be legal. That's how you get down. That's how you get down. I thought when gambling became legal in 2018, I naively thought that professional athletes wouldn't get involved. You wouldn't have the Black Sox scandal of 1919. You wouldn't have Headache Smith. You wouldn't have people trying to throw games, just to use that catch-all term. You wouldn't have athletes trying to throw games because athletes are significantly, more paid now than they have ever been. Why would you mess up millions of dollars just to make a few measly $1,000 in comparison to your salary? Why would you do that? I thought that athletes just wouldn't be dumb enough to do that. Boy, was I wrong.
They all like that rush, man. They all want it's like a drug. They all want that rush, and it's hard to ignore it when you. I mean, let's face it. Charles and Mike may have gambled on some games. You may have gambled on some games. I mean, when they just got the Jones, people cannot not gamble. And so if you tell a gambler it's cool to gamble, they gonna gamble.
Well, if you tell people it's cool to gamble, they gonna gamble. So as I mentioned, sports gambling became legal in the United States in 2018. So the first full year of sports gambling was 2019. It went up from $6.6 billion, which is a lot, to $13.1 billion in less than a year of gambling being legal across the country for all intents and purposes. Sports wagering being legal across the country. That was in 2019, 13 billion. 2024, $148.7 billion spent legally on sports gambling. You went from 13.1 billion to 149 billion in less than 10 years. So not just athletes like to gamble, we like to gamble.
Yes, indeed. I mean, look at these jumps. Look at the jumps between 21 and 24. Those are insane. Those are insane. But people love that rush. They love to blow their money. That's their excitement. These cats, they don't know how to get their adrenaline anywhere else. It's like jumping out of an airplane.
And so now you have athletes who have and are involved. And obviously, the American sports fan is heavily involved, as we mentioned. And because we, as sports fans, are stupid you have fans who are literally accosting athletes on the
Yep.
street
Yep.
and giving them shit
Yep.
for not reaching a certain threshold with their parlay or whatever. Check out this video from just a couple of days ago in New Orleans. Jimmy Butler walking down the street in New Orleans, and some jackass comes up and verbally accosts him.
Stupid big ass Tim's on. Jimmy Butler, man, they don't give a you in that city. Look at him. Mo Prime, look at that. Yeah. Bro, I put 3,000 to win 30. Why you ain't have 30 perks? Jimmy Butler, why you did not have a 30 perks? You were supposed to go over, You work for Vegas. You work for Vegas.
Two things here. Again, I'm not a gambler. However, I'm not stupid. You putting money on Jimmy Butler to have 30 or more points in an NBA game, it's just dumb on your part.
Yeah.
Right.
And by the way, it's 30 perks.
Perks, yes, that's a New Orleans thing. And I don't care if they're playing the Pelicans or not. Expecting Jimmy Butler to have more than 30 perks against anybody, including the New Orleans Pelicans, is just a bad waste of your money right there. Also, Jimmy Butler should have reached inside that car and slapped old boy all upside the head, face, and neck area.
He could have too, boy. You know he wanted to so bad. You know he wanted to so bad. And
I'd have thrown that hot coffee on that asshole.
Woo-wee. He just and that's what's bad about it. These dudes have to take that shit because they're gonna get sued.
Yeah.
They're gonna get sued. One day I just have to be like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead on. I just be like, listen, I'm gonna go in and write you this check.
Oh yeah, do the Derek Coleman when you got fined for being late or something like that, or not wearing the suit on the plane. He was just like, well, how much you finding me? We're finding you $1,000. All right, we got 43 road trips. He wrote a check. He wrote a check for $43,000 and said, "Here, take it." Yeah, I would have thrown that coffee in his face and then thrown a handful of $100 bills in his face.
Yep, exactly. What you want? Because whatever it is, it's worth it. I'm gonna write you $1 million right
now. I'm gonna give you the attention you're looking for, and I'm gonna give you money for it. How about that?
And then I'm about to beat it. I'm about to beat it like Michael Jackson, boy. Are you kidding me?
Antonio, a dude has a warrant and a blunt under that ginger ale. Yeah, I think
it's New Orleans, so yeah,
you can see it. Yeah.
Also, probably got a gun in the glove box, so Jimmy's probably right to be careful.
Yeah, that's a good thing too.
Yeah, because
that's a good point too.
Everybody's packing, dude. Let me tell you something, Ron. There was one night, and this is how you know you're not in Kansas no more. I was at the liquor store, as one does when they are out late at night.
Sure.
Going to the store, it's probably like 1:30 in the a.m. Going to there, I get my little chicken order, waiting for the chicken to be ready. This cat walks in with an AK. Walks in with
47?
Yes.
Damn.
Yes. Walks in with it, and I'm thinking, oh, I'm about to be caught up in one. Like
it's about to go down. Yes, that's a legitimate point. Yes.
This dude just takes it, puts it on the counter, asks for his cigarettes, get his little gum, pays for his thing, takes it, walks on now. I'm like, wow, we really just walking around with these things like they pea shooters. It's amazing to me.
Now, were you the only one that was surprised by this man walking in with an assault rifle, or were you amongst?
That's a good question. I think I was, and I tried to play it low key.
Of course, you didn't want to scream, "Oh my God!" An assault rifle. Yeah. Inside, you were screaming, "Oh my God, he has an assault rifle!" Does everybody see this? On the outside, yes, of course, you have to play it cool. Exactly. You ain't no nerd. You ain't no chump.
That's exactly right. Nobody else is screaming, so I feel like I should not be screaming. Yeah, but boy, I was spooked. I was like, man, I'm looking for exits of the whole nine. Like, yeah, it's just a thing. Everybody walks around with their heat.
Yeah.
I guess if I was still back in the South, it wouldn't move me as much. But people ain't just opening with their weaponry out here. And I'm like, wow.
Well, it's funny you bring that up. It reminds me the last time I was back in Texas. Forget but out here that people in Texas and other places can legally carry guns.
Yep.
You can have that thing literally
Mhm.
on you. You showing it, and you don't need no license, no training,
Yep.
no nothing. All right.
Yep. Yep.
And it's just walking around, and you see people with with that tool on their
Yeah.
hip,
Yeah.
and I mean it's like seeing somebody walk around with no pants. Like it's
It's
going to
crazy.
get your attention. I mean, for me anyway, it's just never going to be normalized. Just somebody walking around, at any point in time, they can just up the tool because it's because it's right there on their
These are
hip.
facts.
Like
These are
you don't even
facts.
you don't even have to lift your shirt up anymore to
No.
access it. It could just be literally holstered right on your hip. Yeah,
Yeah, I just
yeah.
I like, you know what? I'm just gonna assume that everybody in the city is packing.
Yeah,
Rod,
yeah.
you better talk to your boy. What is this? Cogius?
What
Cogius
did he say?
831? You
So
better talk to him.
what liquor stores got chicken like that? I mean, it's
You better talk to him. You understand about this New Orleans chicken. It's
ones that
everywhere.
have dudes that come in with AK-47s and no one bats an eye. And so I tell you this much. I guarantee you that place is the best fried chicken you could ever imagine.
It was great. You know. These people need to understand. You go to the gas station in New Orleans, they got whatever kind of food you need, and it's great. It's better
Some
than
of
your
the
mama's.
some of the best food I've ever had in my life has come from gas stations in and
Facts.
around the greater New Orleans area.
It's
Yeah.
facts. I used to go to this place every single night after work. I just go right there and get my little 3-piece chicken.
Is this what's the name of this place? It was off Chef Mentor Highway. This is a very New Orleans specific conversation. We'll move on in just a second, but I'm just letting you folks know we're getting a very specific New Orleans dialogue happening right here. There was a place off of Chef Mentor Highway, and it was the best oyster po' boy I ever had in my life, and it was the size of a Sunday newspaper.
What?
And if you don't know what a Sunday newspaper is, ask your parents or maybe your grandparents.
Golly.
But it was huge. Like it was almost a weapon.
Damn.
The name of the place was called We Never Close because, well,
Yes.
it was open 24 hours. It's right there in the title. You know about We Never Close, right?
Yes.
Man, and for folks who don't know, Chef Mentor Highway in New Orleans, it's like International Boulevard in Oakland. Okay,
Yes, sir.
You have to
Basically,
be
what are you doing there after midnight is the question that anybody would ask you.
exactly.
You just say, I'm coming to get chicken. And they're like, okay, cool.
You're probably coming to get a lot of other stuff too. Okay. But there's this place called We Never Close, and
Yes,
it was
sir.
the best oyster po' boy I've ever had in my life. That's the kind of stuff you get in New Orleans. So yes, you get good chicken at gas stations in New Orleans.
Yep.
Yes.
And other stuff too. Chicken, whatever kind of cuisine you want, women, men, you got it.
Incense. But here's what's funny about those places. Rarely, if ever, does anyone go to those full service gas stations to actually get gas. It's the weirdest thing. No. Matter of fact, they probably don't even have gas there. There's just actual gas tanks, but there's no gas underground to feed into those gas tanks.
Right.
New Orleans, it's an interesting place. If you've never been, I highly recommend you go. Moving on, let's get into some non-sport stuff here. I'm obsessed with robots.
Absolutely.
And I'm obsessed with robots because robots are going to enslave us humans. So I just want to get in on the ground floor because when they do enslave us, best believe I will be one of the house slaves. Okay, I'm not a field slave. Okay, I'm a house slave. So when the robots enslave us, I just want them to know I'm one of the good ones. Okay, I'm not going to try and start an uprising. I'm not going to try to escape. I, for one, welcome our new robot overlords. Okay, and this is all just for my survival. All right. You can say that I have no principles, I have no morals. That's fine. Say whatever you want to say. But when the robots are beating the crap out of you guys out there as they are making you mine precious minerals, I'm going to be on the inside servicing the robots, making sure that their joints are well oiled and everything.
That's right.
Because I'm all about taking care of myself. Anywho, okay, now that we have that out of the way, so what I've noticed is that around the world, different countries are approaching eventual robot domination in a different way. Let's see how the Chinese are getting their robots going here. Okay, they're making robots who are dressed like skaters from the 90s, who are just running down green hills somewhere in the mountains of China. Let's watch that again. All right. So here are the Chinese robots. Nothing to be afraid of, singularly, but imagine tens of thousands of those running at you down the street. Okay. All right. That's what China has in store for us. What are we doing in the good old US of A? With our robots, how are we going to fight back from the Chinese robots who were dressed like slackers from the 90s? Well, we're going to do it in a very American way. Ours are going to be very flamboyant.
Yes, sir.
And caked up in the back, as you can see.
That is the robot.
Yes. Yeah, our robots are. Our robots are going to be very sassy. Yes, it is a robot.
That's right.
Our robots are going to be very sassy, and also our robots are going to be very stylish. Notice the fly kicks on the American robot. Notice the Nikes. So now let's see what the Russians are doing with their robots, shall we?
Lord.
All right, what are they doing in Mother Russia with robots?
Oh, goodness.
Okay, here we go.
Of course.
Okay. It's very human looking, kind of stiff, but
Yeah.
kind of frightening. All right, what's it going to do here? Is it going to do some real Russian shit? Hang on. It's waving. All right, hang on.
Oh, it's drunk. He's got vodka.
Down goes Android.
He runs those
Yes.
vodka.
It does look like they're dragging a drunk Russian out of a club. And they tried to cover it up with a shroud. Wait a minute, let's watch that again.
Oh man!
So here comes Sergey, the Russian robot,
Straight out the bar.
full of vodka and hate for America.
Mm-mm-mm.
All right, it's kind of yoked, but again, very stiff. And that's when the circuitry just starts to spark. Well, I got to tell you, not really scared of what Russia's doing.
No, not at all.
In robotics. Y'all got a long way to go before you catch up with what we're doing here in the United States and what they got going on over there in China. So keep trying, Russia. Maybe eventually you'll get there and you won't have a robot that is the robotic version of your populace just walking around angry and full of vodka and stumbling and falling and having people drag you out of bars. So very, very stereotypical, my thoughts on Russians, as you can clearly tell. So there you go. Second thing I love to talk about, and again, just like robots, because I'm afraid, like to talk about monkeys. Like to talk about monkeys and like to talk about monkeys in Florida. So let's go to Florida, shall we? Florida, the most dangerous place in the United States of America, because if the people don't kill you, the environment or the animals will. Florida is the only place in the United States where you can get mauled by a bear and swallowed whole by a Burmese python in the exact same day. All right, you're not doing that in Arkansas. It's just not gonna happen. You might get killed by a bear. It's not gonna be a python. Florida, the only place you can get killed by both. So Florida is a sunny place for shady people, but it's also a place, Florida, where they have something that, well, this is going to be a part of your core nightmares from here on out. I would like to introduce to all of you from the great state of Florida, kamikaze monkeys.
Come on.
Look at them all.
What the what?
These are all monkeys jumping in. Oh my God, it's raining monkeys. This is like crazy. Go on, little one. What the heck's making them all jump?
I don't know, but I feel like you should be running.
All monkeys.
All the monkeys jump out the tree to cross. That's crazy.
Bruh, that's the scariest shit I've ever seen in my life.
That's crazy.
Okay. All right. That's significantly scarier than one guy walking into a gas station / chicken joint with an AK-47.
That's
Okay.
crazy.
Dozens of monkeys flinging themselves out of trees into open bodies of water is
wild, dude.
significantly scarier than one dude with an automatic rifle.
That is just wild. I'm stunned. I've never seen anything like that.
Bro,
now I'm gonna find out what that's about. Like I've never seen anything like that.
Yo, man, she's sitting there in that canoe laughing as monkeys are raining from above. Nope. Nope.
No, I
Nope.
got to go. I got to
No,
go.
my ass would have been paddling furiously.
Plus, what's gonna happen when we find out that one monkey didn't realize he couldn't swim?
Oh, wait, what if it's one monkey with just with bad aim, right? Or what if it's one monkey with a malicious, yet humorous streak, and decided to be that one monkey that lands specifically on your head? Like I would assume a monkey of, let's just say 25 to 30 pounds,
Easy,
coming from 25 to 30 feet in the air.
easy. That's a bowling ball. You in the head.
Exactly.
That's what that is.
Exactly. Like one kamikaze monkey from the sky to the dome, that's lights out for you. It's a wrap.
Easy.
It's a wrap.
Easy.
It's a wrap.
There's no gators around. Also interesting. Or no crocodiles around. Also.
I mean, there very well may be. And you know what?
Wow.
The monkeys and the reptiles might even be in cahoots. Why would you ever go to Florida? Why?
I am not fond of that state.
Why?
So,
Why? Gators, Burmese pythons, bears, Florida man and woman, and kamikaze monkeys? Why? No. So there you go.
I don't need none of it.
When you go to Florida, make sure you look up because there could be
Does
monkeys.
it say where in Florida this is, right?
I mean, I just take all of Florida. It's just somewhere I don't want to go.
I'd be curious to see what this place is.
But I mean, it looks, tropical, and there's water.
That water's
so it's
clear.
got to be on one of the three coasts.
Yeah, that water is clear.
Yeah, there you go. But I could tell you where it's not, in the great state of California.
Yeah.
Okay. I have to worry about a lot of things here. I don't have to worry about monkeys raining death from above.
Thank the Lord.
All right. I'll pay more in taxes to keep myself
Facts.
monkey free. All right.
Facts.
I feel
I
like
don't need that monkey rain on me. That's for damn sure.
He said monkey rain. It's the worst kind of rain.
It's bad.
Man, I tell you, you can't get your gutters clean enough to keep that monkey rain from Oh man, oh boy. You know what we haven't lost in not doing the shows for the past couple of weeks? We haven't lost our ability to be childishly stupid. So
These are facts.
glad we can still do that. All right, we'll wrap it up with a little on this date. We'll cleanse your palate, or at least try to change your dreams for tonight. Keep you from thinking about raining monkeys. On this date, November 17th, November 17th, 1978, the Police released their debut album,
Oh boy.
Outlandos de Amor, which, by the way, loosely translates into Outlaws of Love. Police debut album, one of the greatest debut albums of all time.
Just children.
Yeah, kids.
Just children.
Roxanne, So Lonely, Can't Stand Losing You. One of my personal favorites. Truth Hits Everybody. All on this album. The Police's debut, Outlandos de Amor, released on this date in the United States. I should be specific. Released on this date, November 17th, 1978.
That's nice. I love it.
Big fan of the Police. Love.
And
Police.
specifically the Police for me. Sting is I prefer the Police.
Yes. I would agree with that. I think that I like some of Sting's solo stuff, but together They are really, really good. I'm a huge Stuart Copeland fan.
Sure.
Being a drummer,
Sure.
I think Andy
Sure.
Summers is a criminally underrated guitarist, and Sting is one of the greatest songwriters of all time. His songwriting, his voice, and the musicianship of all three. Really, Sting is a more than competent bass player, but Andy Summers and Stuart Copeland, those three guys, the collective, individually, great. Together, unbelievable.
Legend.
Legendary for sure. The Police released their debut album Outlandos d'Amour on this date in 1978. On this date in 1984, American pop culture shifted. Michael Jordan wore these for the first time on this date, November 17th, 1984. These are the original Air Jordans. These are the ones that caused all sorts of a stink. The NBA hated them. But we went from this simple act of shoe defiance to completely and totally changing the way, not just in this country, but around the world, how people thought about what we just then termed as tennis shoes. It all started on this day in 1984.
Well, I mean, now that I look at this, one of the things I really never really paid attention to was where are Jordan's calves? Like where that just looked like a pair of sticks up in there. What is going on with this dude? It's just a couple of pipes coming out of his shoe.
It worked for him, though.
Hey, what you think about Steph cutting out from Under Armour? That's huge.
I mean, it was a long time coming.
Huge.
It was a long time coming. Under Armour was the best thing to happen to Under Armour, quite frankly. And it was business malfeasance that they didn't know how to market him, quite frankly. If Steph Curry, yeah, exactly. And not that Steph Curry is not famous, of course he is. But if Steph Curry had Nike's marketing machine behind him, come on, dog. Come on. And we still may get that. Who knows? With Steph Curry being a free agent, I would dare say that his services are greatly coveted by Nike and Adidas and those Chinese shoe companies whose names I don't know, but they're pretty strong in the game or getting stronger in the game. I wouldn't be surprised if they made a serious run at him as well.
So what would be interesting is if, and I don't even know if they would. I think about him going to Nike, but giving Curry his signature shoe and LeBron doesn't have one, it might be some politicking going on there.
Oh, LeBron's got a shoe.
He got a signature shoe? I thought he didn't have one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I know KD has one.
Yeah.
I don't know what LeBron's called.
Yeah, he's got LeBron. It's like the, LeBron and then the number. Yeah.
Oh, okay,
no, he's got a shoe. Oh, yeah, for sure.
That Curry brand thing is like Jordan brand. It's going to be sick.
Yeah.
It's going to be sick.
It's going to be sick. We shall see what happens. But on this day, listen, we're not having this discussion about Steph Curry, if not for what happened on this day with these shoes. And Michael Jordan wore the first pair of Air Jordans, Air Jordan 1s, on this date, November 17th, 1984. On this date in 1989, the cinematic classic Harlem Nights premiered. What? Come on, son. What? Everybody's got a favorite line from Harlem Nights.
What?
Go first.
What? Oh, I'm gonna shoot your pinky toe.
I mean, of course. That's Oh, you shot me in my pinky toe. Or kiss my entire ass. The great Della Reese.
She was such a highlight in that movie for me. She was such a highlight. Oh my gosh, man. She was hilarious. Red Fox, amazing. One of the things I loved about Eddie was he did love to have his idols in his films with him. He paid homage. God,
so obviously, Richard Pryor was in the movie. You mentioned Red Fox was in the movie. Doesn't have a speaking part. Robin Harris is in Harlem Nights. Robin Harris is in Harlem Nights.
Yeah.
Charlie Murphy is in Harlem Nights. Rest in peace to Charlie Murphy, Eddie
Definitely.
Murphy's brother, Charlie.
Mhm,
Charlie
mhm.
Murphy is in Harlem Nights. Arsenio Hall has that memorable cameo in
Yeah.
Harlem Nights.
Yeah.
Um, Tommy from Martin is in Harlem Nights. I forget the brother's name. He's no longer with us, but I forget his real
Yeah.
name. But
It
Tommy from
is. It's
Harlem
his
Nights
rhythm
is in
is
there.
Tommy something too, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Obviously, she's not a comedian, but what's her name? I'm blanking
Robin
on her
Givens.
name. She was in a different world. No, not Robin Givens.
Um,
You know who I'm talking about.
Lisa Bonet.
No, not Lisa Bonet. The other
Uh,
one. The other
oh
light-skinned
golly.
girl that everybody loved in the late '80s
Yeah.
and early '90s. She was in
God.
a different world. She was Whitley. Yeah, you know who the hell I'm
Yeah.
talking
Yeah.
about. But
Yeah.
anyway, it was such a
Jasmine
big
Guy.
Jasmine Guy. Thank you very much. It was
Jasmine
such a
Guy.
big moment for Black culture back then, and the movie still holds up too. It's still funny
Yep.
as all get out. Danny Aiello is in it. He had
Mhm.
had a great role in it. But Harlem Nights, man. But it's classic, dog. It's a classic.
I actually think that we sleep on Eddie Murphy movies. I think we do, right? Maybe
I
it's
think
because
we sleep on some of them.
I just don't think enough young people really know. Maybe I don't think we give Eddie enough big ups for these young people to know. Life is amazing.
Oh my God, yeah. Yes.
Life is amazing.
Yeah,
And
for
we
sure.
don't ever talk about it.
Yeah.
Another one with all those great names and faces in it. I could
Bernie
watch
Mac.
Life anytime.
Oh, yeah.
Anytime, boy.
Absolutely.
So what do they talk about? They talk about Nutty Professor, right? They talk about those movies.
Mhm.
I like the adult Eddie Murphy movies, not the family friendly ones.
I would like to think that Harlem Nights and Life both exist in the same universe. You know what I mean? I would just say there's like
Yeah.
you have the Marvel universe,
Yeah.
you have Star
Yes.
Wars universe. I would
Yeah.
like to think that Life and Harlem Nights both exist in the same universe. Maybe that's just
I
me, but
always feel like Life is peak Eddie.
oh, I would agree with that. I would
It's
agree with
peak.
that.
I think most folks probably think Coming to America, which is great,
Mhm.
But I think Life is my one. At 48 Hours and Trading Places, can't go
Sure.
wrong with either one of
Sure.
those.
Sure.
I just found out that
Boomerang. It's hard to. And
Boomerang.
I know it's not a full out comedy. It's got some comedic. It's a
On.
romantic comedy.
Yeah.
But come on, man, Boomerang is top notch.
Boomerang, dude.
Top notch.
Indeed.
Top notch. On this date in 1989, cinematic classic Harlem Nights premiered in theaters. Wrap up on this date and wrap up the show on this date in 1992. The third album from Ice Cube debuted.
Ooh.
The Predator dropped on this date in 1992. If you are unfamiliar with Ice Cube's discography, this is the album that had the classic It Was a Good Day.
Good
Also,
man.
Check Yourself with DOS Effects, but this album is most known for, I would say, not my favorite song, but the quintessential Ice Cube song. If you ask people, just stopped them on the street, hey, what's your
Yep.
favorite Ice Cube song?
Yep.
Once they got over the shock of a stranger asking them a very specific yet odd question of what is your favorite Ice Cube song, more than likely they are going to say It Was a Good Day. And it was on this
Who are
album,
you,
The
sir?
Predator, that was dropped on this date, November 17th, 1992.
What a good Wicked. I love that song. That was
Wicked
such
is
a
on
good
here. That's
song.
right.
Oh my God. What else was on there? What else was on that album? Dirty Mac. Gangsta's Fairy Tale too. That was a
Yep.
good one.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh
sir.
my God.
This came after the Rodney King. This came after the Rodney King beating on when it was caught on tape. Yeah, it was after the riot. Was it after riots too?
What year?
April 29th, 1992.
Yeah, I think it was.
Was that? I think yeah,
Like
yeah.
right around the same time.
Yeah.
Right
I
around
know
the same
April
time.
29th was when the riot started. I don't remember if it was
Yeah.
92 or 93, but I think it was 92.
Yep, it was 92.
So this was Ice Cube at his angriest and most militant,
Mhm.
understandably so, considering what was happening
Hell
in
yeah.
this country and specifically in LA at the time. But
Yeah.
Predator came out on this date in 1992.
Ice
you go.
Cube, is he the most accomplished? I was about to say he's the most accomplished rapper turned actor, but I'm like, no, because you got Will Smith.
Yeah. Yeah.
Will Smith, Queen Latifah, Ice Cube, LL Cool J.
I think you can throw Ice-T in there too.
Ice-T. Yes,
I
Ice-T.
think you throw him in there. Yeah. I mean, he's
Ice-T.
been on Law and Order for what, the past 28 years? I might be off a couple of years, but I'm not that far
Job
off.
security. No, you're right. That show started in '99. So
Yeah.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a long, yeah, before high definition television, it was that long ago.
Job security.
So there you go. On this date, November 17th, the Police released their debut album. The first Jordans debuted on Michael Jordan's feet. Harlem Nights premiered, and Ice Cube dropped his third album, The Predator, on this date. All happened on this date, November the 17th. We always wrap up Quality Hang with the best thing that I've seen today. And I feel a little bit guilty because I've poisoned your mind now with the thought of monkeys raining from the sky in Florida. I don't want you folks to go to sleep with that. I don't want that at all. So you know what? I'm gonna cleanse the timeline, as they say, and show you the best thing that I've seen today, which will then now be the best thing that you have seen today. I take you to Phoenix, Arizona, where a young man and his son are enjoying a basketball game. Yes, they're enjoying the Suns, which you would think a father would know better than to take his son to see the Phoenix Suns, but I digress. Father and son enjoying a basketball game, and I bring you the wholesome moment of a boy seeing himself on the Jumbotron. Little man housing some popcorn. Dad said, "Look, you're on the Jumbotron." That little man's like, "Yeah, I am. Check out your boy." He could not be more proud of himself. I've watched this a million times. You're going to watch it more than once. That smile he gets on his face when it all comes together. He's like, look at your boy on TV right there. When we give him to get the smile. Yeah.
Looking like baby Usher.
This young man, this little boy, seeing himself on the Jumbotron for the first time. Nice. That's the best thing I've seen today. And I'm pretty sure that's the best thing you've seen today, too.
Keeping it wholesome. I love you for it, Rob Brooks.
Yes. I mean, we have talked about nudity and monkeys flying from raining death from above. I figured I'd have to redeem myself in some way, shape, or form. All right, y'all. Been a fun day. Again, programming note. Well, let me start here. Just once again, I know that our schedule has been very jumbled, and our shows have been over the last couple of weeks infrequent and off schedule. That is all on me. Just been very, very busy with Warriors and Niners related duties, and I'm still busy with that. But we're gonna keep cranking out shows. Albeit on an irregular schedule as best as we can. We will go again on what's that?
Somebody just posted and I forgot to mention, but rest in peace, Coach John Beam.
Oh my God! Yeah, you know what? Yeah, before we get out of here, I didn't know the man, and I had no interactions with him. I knew of him, but you could clearly see how much John Beam. How much he touched people and his story and his life and what he did for young men and women, for people in Oakland as coach of Skyline and then at Laney. It went beyond Oakland, went beyond the East Bay, went beyond sports. It was a human thing. It was a life thing. It was tragic to hear what happened, and we're still left with sorrow and questions as to why. Many people lost someone that they admired and someone who was like a father to them. Just a very, very, very tragic story. And like I said, I didn't know him personally. I just knew of his story and had heard about all the things that he had done. And to hear about that senseless tragedy and to see how it affected so many people it's heartbreaking. That's the only word I can use.
I tell people all the time, that dude could have become mayor of Oakland if he wanted to. He was one of my substitute teachers when I was in junior high school.
Really?
Yeah. And he was coach at Skyline. And then when he went to Laney, I actually had that opportunity to connect with him. And I sat with him for 4 hours to do an interview He was doing Last Chance U
Mm-hmm.
being released on Netflix, and I just sat with him for 4 hours. And then whenever Beam was around, somehow everybody in Oakland knew.
Yeah.
All he had to do was sit in the coffee shop, and within 15 minutes, athletes come in, ones you know, ones you don't know. Like almost any athlete that came out of Oakland. And I mean, no matter what high school, what college, they all had a connection with Coach Beam.
Yeah.
If you were connected with athletics at all in Oakland, in the high school, college ranks, you had a relationship with him. Just a good dude. He wasn't fake. He wasn't phony. He would cuss you out, but he would hug you right after he did it. And you always knew that there was no maliciousness around it. The stuff that he did, you may have heard Marshawn Lynch talk about his relationship with Coach Beam. So many other Oakland athletes. It was really, I don't think I've ever seen anything like it, Rod. Like one single coach touching every single athlete, professional or otherwise, to come out of that area. It's an intense relationship.
Not one bad word said about him.
Mm-hmm.
Not one.
Mm-mm.
Not one.
Mm-mm.
No.
Good dude. Just a good, big-hearted dude.
Yeah.
Big old. He was funny too.
Just so sad. So senseless. And
he loved. I have to say this. He loved Oakland. He loved the city of Oakland. His whole identity was built through. I mean, if you hung around with him, you're like, oh, you hang out with the brothers. That's exactly what it is. Oh, you that dude. Okay, cool. All right. He's a good dude, man.
Respect. Oh man. Yeah, he loved Oakland and Oakland and beyond loved him. Like that was the thing about it, is that, like I said earlier, his it went beyond coaching. It sure seemed like there was a symbiotic relationship. He loved the people and the people loved him.
Amen.
And like I said, not one bad word said about him. And these days, it's hard to have that.
That's true, bro.
It's like, it's hard to think about. It's hard to talk about. Like I said, didn't know the man, didn't have any personal, but I found it hard for me to, like, I'm still trying to wrap my head around it, as most people, if not everybody is. And it's just hard to talk about because the senselessness of it, and the fact that it seems like his death came at the hands of someone who knew him, and knew him well. Like that's.
I guess he was a guy who he let come out and practice with his team every now and then. But he was he also was kind of touched. He had some mental health problems, and apparently they were saying that he was told that he needed to go and kill Coach Beam because he was being told that he was a witch.
Oh God!
So it's just things where you don't expect somebody like that to go out in that way.
Yeah. Just for me, just speaking for myself, that's the part I can't. I don't know. It wasn't random. It wasn't. He wasn't. He wasn't robbed. It was senseless in the truest sense of the word. That's the part I have a tough time wrapping my head around. That I don't know if it could have been avoided, but boy, it's tough. So obviously my condolences to those that knew and loved him, and for folks who even didn't know him, but you felt an affection and a kinship for him. My condolences go out to you, because it's just senseless. That's the only word I can think of. So
super heavy, and I love the fact that we got the billboards all over the city. I love seeing it. That's a guy who earned it. Yeah,
for sure. Still should be here. That's the part I can't wrap my head around. Is that he should still be here, and he's not, because of something that was senseless. So yeah, all respect. Rest in peace, Coach Beam. And we will be back on Thursday, and we'll do our normal shebang and bang, and we'll be back on next Tuesday, not on Monday, because the Niners and the Panthers. So that is our broadcast schedule going forward. Thank you again for being patient with us, and thank you again for joining us on this Monday. And thanks again to our presenting sponsor, the fine folks at Hop Monk Taverns. We will see you on Thursday. Have yourselves a fantastic evening. And as always, be good and be good at it. We'll see you.